divine light. Society, welcome back to Marz Magic. And look, Good Vibrations by Marky Mark in the Funky Bunch is most definitely befitting for opener because this is definitely the space where vibration, if my words and my sounds align up with the vibrations, we'll be doing a whole lot better. Nevertheless, this is where vibration meets elevation. This round, the month of November, we are going to continue to honor the divine masculine, that steady force of creation, protection, and purpose that balances the soft and strong within all of us. All right. This month, we center with our brothers, the artists, activists, thinkers, and builders who pour themselves into the work of transformation. All right. So that means we should not, if you were tuned in October, this is not a competition whatsoever when
Yes,
it
it is.
comes to
Yes, it is.
the masculine and feminine. It shouldn't be.
Oh, between masculine and feminine. Okay,
Yeah,
no, no,
yeah.
no, no, no. Between masculine and masculine.
Yeah,
Yes.
it should most definitely be a partnership where we can come together
Yes,
and work
yes.
together in this transformation to elevate ourselves and our communities. All right.
I agree with that.
Tonight we're sitting with another powerful voice you already hearing popping off,
Listen,
who
you gotta know.
believes that art is not just an expression, but it is a method for liberation. All right. So before we get into it, before we get into the heart and the soul of the conversation, let's collectively breathe and come into the space together. So as we inhale creation. As we exhale stagnation. Yes, y'all. Because freedom begins in the imagination. All right. So we have to start to regain control of our breath and be intentional about how we're breathing and what we're breathing. All right. And start to create that shift within our mindset as we do so. Because as a man thinketh, so is he. All right. So we got to change our thought processes just a little bit.
Amen.
So, our theme for tonight is art and liberation, the revolution within,
Yeah, it
that
is.
we are most definitely using as a tool to gain our freedom.
There we
So,
go.
we're exploring how creativity becomes a weapon, a refugee, a refuge, and a roadmap for change. Because we not refugees, we definitely out here operating in a higher esteem than that. Okay, so our guest this evening is a visionary who works um and breathes in his truth, right? So he
Yeah,
most definitely operates in his truth, blending art, activism, and ancestry into one. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome our special guest for this evening, our brother in the struggle,
there we go. That's right.
Adam, aka Jeus Inyang.
There we
Adam, how you
go.
feeling?
I am black and blessed. How you?
I'm good. I
Yeah.
am good. Yes, we've made it to another day that we hadn't seen before and we won't see again. And hopefully most of us have made the best of it. You know what I'm saying?
That's all we can hope, you know. And right now, I'm struggling with my Facebook Live for whatever reason. It just decided to go off. It was on for like I guess a few seconds, and then it just went away. So I'm trying to reset that up right now. But
Okay.
other than that, we blessed. You know, it's always a good technical difficulty. Keep you on your toes.
That's right.
You know,
Motivation.
you know what I'm saying.
War against the machine.
You know, and you know, you saw me sit here and set the sucker up
Yeah.
15 minutes prior. Now.
Yeah,
we was
yeah.
ready to go. And so,
Definitely.
you know. Anyway, this is how it goes.
Nevertheless, while we get that going,
Yeah.
if you would, for the listeners who are not familiar with you or who might be, but are getting to hear your perspective in a different light, if you would tell us a little bit about who you are and what moves your activism in artistry.
So yeah, my name is Adam Inyang. I was born and raised here in Albany, Georgia. Um, I'm an Albany son, and I went to Albany High, graduated Albany High '07, and man, I've got a good deep love for my city. I run a print shop called Easy Copy where we do excellent digital graphic design and digital printing. So if you need any brochures, business cards, banners, whatever, I just did something. Shout out to the county for shopping with me. Shout out to Albany State for shopping with me. Shout out to everybody that shopped with me. Miss Patricia Shaw, I just sent you a text. Actually, your order's ready as well. Anyway, listen, but beyond that, I get active in these streets, man. I've been creating art since I can remember, and one of the things that drives me is put social change, the betterment of just the lives of my people. Historically, here in Albany and globally, Black people just have been suffering for a long time, to say the least. And so I'm very passionate about changing that reality and changing that experience for Black people as a whole. And so one of my favorite quotes is by this wonderful guy, wonderful historian, Dr. John Henry Clark. He said, it is the responsibility of an artist to use their art to change the society that he or she is in. And when I heard that, I took that to heart because it just resonated with me with just something that I felt my whole life up until that point anyway. And I'm a big, huge Huey Newton fan. And so just merging all these different ideologies, I got a Nigerian dad who is very strict and a mama that from Philly that just balances that energy. And so, man, with all of that just swirled up in there, I want to take all of that and gift it back to my community in a tangible way. And that means, changing this community, being vocal about the issues. So I show up at the meetings that I can. I rewatch the city commission meetings and school board meetings and county commission meetings, and I try to stay abreast on what's going on locally and share that information with my people. And yeah, because it's on us. It's on us. So yeah, that's a little bit about me and what drives me, and I'm not sure what else you asked.
No, that's what I asked, and you made some very powerful statements, especially when we think about that quote, as well as when we think about being actively engaged and present in what's happening and taking place and being that source of information, because a lot of times they say we perish for a lack of knowledge. Exactly. And so a lot of times our people aren't aware or familiar with how these meetings and processes actually go, and the order of operations. And so for someone to say, I'm going, because that's much like how I got started out, going to those meetings and bringing the word back to the people. Yep. And so we have to know and understand like the value in those people who take the time out of their schedules, not just to go to the meetings and be another seat holder, you know what I'm saying, but to actually say, no, I'm here for a purpose, to gain this information and disseminate it back to my people in a way that they will be able to understand, like meeting them where they are in layman's terms.
There you go. That's exactly right.
Yes.
So, and part of that for me is that's part of why I started the Albany Forward group, and I just shared the live. It's also too, if y'all viewing, man, please share the live. Share the
hit that follow.
Make sure y'all follow Ms. Nexus, and I wanted to put that in the comments here for my viewers here. Follow
yes.
Ms. Nexus. Follow V.O.I.C.E.S radio .com. Make sure y'all check all that out.
Facts.
But the Albany Forward group was created with that in mind. We got to bring the information to the people, because a lot of people they're not going to stop in their busy schedule to attend the city commission meeting when these commissioners finna do what they gonna do anyway.
Right.
And I get that. Oh, I get that frustration. But now we got a different situation, y'all.
Yeah.
For those that aren't aware, we just had a recent election. Shout out to Ms. Colette Jenkins for unseating Bob Langstaff after 20 plus years.
What?
And so now
that was a major victory.
Buddy,
I don't think the people understand.
I'm telling you that that's a very heavy situation. But now we have a lot of weight and power in the city commission. We already had a large majority in the county commission, and they've been doing a lot of good stuff. Shout out to Chairman Hurd. Shout out to all the rest of the county commissioners they've been getting stuff done in a good way. They've been getting things funded that benefit the people. They've been prioritizing people and projects. But so now it's time for the city to do that.
We gonna see what happens.
Man, listen, there's contracts that are going up for bid right now. Please, if y'all have not, follow the Albany Forward group, because I post all of that in there. I make sure I share the bids that go up for the city, different contracts for electrical work, not crazy stuff, plumbing work, cleanup work, landscaping work, all kind of different things that we have the capacity to do. So you can get contracts with the city right now. That's been shared in the group. I think Miss J. Ball Houston also shared it. But that right there, making it fun and engaging is part of making sure people stay engaged. Because man, like they're gonna be here, they're gonna be right here.
Yeah.
But not quite as eager or able to get to the meetings, and I get it, because boy, they ain't always exciting. But boy, shout out to Diana Bryan, boy. Diana Bryan gonna make it exciting. Diana Bryan
I've heard. What we doing? We chining in.
We got the chime in. You feel me?
Like, no, and it's crazy because Albany. I'm not gonna say Albany, but I'm gonna throw the hit at my people. Like, our people turn everything into a joke, into something comedic, into something humorous, and it's like, okay, I get it. Nevertheless, this is a serious matter, and how do we get past the humor to actually get the message that is being relayed? You feel me?
I feel
when it comes to like the work that she's doing and so many other people are doing, when it comes to trying to bring about change and a more progressive mindset within the city. And it's like, it's been a couple other topics, we not gonna go there, but it's like we turn everything into a joke, and it's like, yo,
it's frustrating.
This is really serious.
It's frustrating. You know, I think one of the biggest lessons I done learned, though, especially just dealing with in these politics, and then black folks not quite taking it as serious as I can. You just gotta let Negroes laugh. Yeah, you just gotta let them niggas laugh, because if you try to stop the laughing, then somehow you get attacked.
Yeah,
man, listen, dog. But then later on, it always comes back to, look, yeah, this was actually a serious matter. This was the '94 crime bill that actually took us all away. Right. Oh, we shouldn't have been celebrating Bill Clinton like we were doing. Like, it's
you
always,
feel me? Why he's sitting up there with that saxophone? Okay, we ain't gonna
stuff always come back around. Look what they doing to Haiti and stuff. But that was the first black president. But you right though. We always make junk a joke, and we make a ha ha. But that's why too.
I did not have. You feel me?
Listen, and then now we got this fool here.
Right.
But man, but no, as far as chime in and Diana Bryan goes, do you think Diana Bryan is our what's the man in Flint, Michigan? Not William Wright. Well, shout out to William Wright too. R.I.P. my dad. What was the dude name? Y'all know what I'm talking about on the lot. Man, but anyway, that dude, he was just very I want to say passionate. I don't want to use a negative term.
Yes.
He was passionate, but he would mock the commissioners and stuff. He was bad. At least Commissioner Brown don't do all that.
Right. Oh,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about. Oh boy,
yeah, he would be up there snapping
in
those meetings, and they would be trying to throw him out, and he was like,
but he knew the law.
He did
knew the protocol. And
he did,
and that's Diana Bryan. Like she know the procedures, and she know his Robert's rules of how these meetings are supposed to be conducted.
Right.
And truth be told, all these meetings that are being conducted, and I'm gonna say this live again, are being held illegally. There are various aspects of these meetings, different parts that go into how they're supposed to be broadcast, how they're supposed to be backed up, how they're supposed to be a certain quorum, certain number of people, certain votes, certain different stuff that are in attendance, certain attendance numbers per meetings that make these proceedings illegal. So a lot of these meetings that have been had where they've had these votes that probably went against our wishes.
Right.
If somebody had the resources and the know-how,
Eric Mays
There you go, Eric Mays. That's my boy. Yeah, but that's shout out to Diana Brown. Yeah, our Eric Mays. But if somebody had the resources and the know-how and the connections, they could sue the city of Albany, reverse all of the foolishness that Lane Staff and Warburton and them fools done did,
Right.
and get that money back and put back where it needs to be. But of course now we don't necessarily have to do that because we got a 5-seat majority of people that are supposed to be representing the people,
Right.
and not representing Phoebe and whoever else,
Right. Whatever.
you know? And so there's that. We can only hope.
Right. Ooh.
Shout out to Larry Simmons, just sent me the flyers
And
for the.
it's interesting that you said that though, because our people don't know that. And you know, we grew up in a certain way. Cause let me tell you, I'm not gonna lie, I learned about Robert's Rules of Order when I was a little child, like maybe elementary, middle school. I didn't necessarily understand fully what it was, but my mom, like, she was like secretary and treasurer and stuff for a whole lot of different clubs and organizations. And so it was like always, even my grandmother would take me to like club meetings, and it was like, no, Robert's Rules of Order. Like they had books on like this order of operation, like, and so when our church people say like everything is to be done decent and in order, it's a reason like for this order. Outside of, you know what I'm saying, religious functions and activities, like order is proper and necessary. And like you said, meetings are supposed to have a certain quorum. People are like, what is a quorum? Exactly, the number of people not only sitting on the board, but the number of actual members, which would be us of the community that are represented and present, because you have to have balance, y'all.
There's that. So, and shoot, you learned it from your mom. I learned it from Diana Brown, actually, the Robert's Rules in a utility meeting. I was unaware, but she pulled me to the side in one of these utility meetings, and she was like, "All this is wrong. They ain't doing this right. They ain't doing this right. Da 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 da." And she was breaking the whole junk down, and I'm like, "Well, shoot, are we finna stand up and protest this right now, or whatever?" And you know, because I was on that what's up energy, and she was like, "Nah, you know what?" And she actually did speak up about certain stuff. I remember she, you know, petitioned them and say, "Hey, nah, this out of order," but you know, they push back and all this other foolishness, but.
So then that goes back to the leadership that we're electing and selecting to sit in these seats, because I'm almost certain that all of these members, past and present, are aware of this order. You feel me? And so whether we were heavily,
the orientation, whatnot, I think.
So whether we were heavily represented in the past or not, it's like, where was that voice? Why weren't you, as a officer or representative of the people, standing up and saying like, no, this is out of order? And not only that, coming back to your constituents and saying, let me tell you openly and publicly what's happening in these closed door sessions that y'all don't know about, that you're not aware of. Because if you already know I'll get going, because if you're representing the people, why are you not standing up for them in all aspects and respects? Like,
come on, listen.
In your position of authority.
One thing that I've observed, or that I'm observing, is you've got two different types of people that are serving as leaders. You've got people that have been W-2 people, and then you've got people that have been owners. And Langstaff, Warburton,
owners.
They're business owners. Weaver worked for the courts.
Workers, yeah.
I think what's John Howard? I'm not sure what actually John Howard was he doing. Actually, I'm not even sure. But Dip worked with them folks. Diana Brown is, I think, an independent contractor. So she's got some of that energy to give her, you know, hey, I can represent the people. I'm standing up, whatever. And then she's got this self-righteousness that's kind of a little bit obstructionist that needs to be worked on. And we've talked about it. We've definitely talked about it, boy. But, Diana Brown, we love you.
I'm going to have to get Diana Brown on here.
You got to get Diana Brown on here, but
Ain't no
Be
but.
prepared for a tough conversation, buddy. Be
Well,
prepared
tough
for
conversations are what we need.
you know,
Yeah.
try to have that one offline first. There's okay, one thing that we can definitely talk about that I would love to talk about, and this is no shade to Diana Brown or anybody, because I definitely suffer from my own mental dealings. But in leadership, there is a large amount of stress that weighs on these leaders. And it creates in some an imbalance. And I think we got that in some of our leaders to where we need to create outlets and spaces for our leaders as well as a community. I don't know. This is something that I've just been brainstorming about. But as we know that our leaders are supposed to serve us, and as a community, we have a responsibility to show up to these meetings, hold these leaders accountable. At the same time, we as a community need to create a space for our leaders that is nurturing for them too. Like,
I get it.
and you see, I just made a post earlier today on Facebook talking about like some of the people that do the most good in this community are the most demonized, and it creates an angst where people don't want to help, where people want to turn their back because business so dang negative, so goddamn destructive, so don't ever want to support nobody. Always got beef. Shout out to the homie Nigel Mitchell with his show, but it's just always mess. But that's what they like. They want mess. They want negativity, and it's never a weigh in on. All right, let's be positive. Yeah, Langstaff and Warburton don't create spaces for them because we've tried to have conversations with them and they've been liars straight to their faces. But for these others that are trying, bring John Howard in. He been doing these doggone community the town halls. Let's do something for John Howard, dog. Let's do something for John Howard. Let's celebrate John Howard. I'm just talking with you now. I mean, this is all about how my brain been going. But and yeah, we need to as a community adjust the way we're doing things, just as a whole, in a lot of aspects. And I think that's definitely one. We need to treat our people with more care. Diana Brown, whether you like her or don't love her, treat her with care. Weaver, whether you like him or don't like him, whether he get you a bad sentence, treat him with care. Treat them with love, dog. So then, because then that facilitates relationship. Because right now, I got relationship. I could call Weaver right now and be like, hey, I need XYZ, which is what actually happened recently when I called him when the water thing was messed up at my house.
And then I don't know if he saw my comment that I dropped in the post, but that street, I came home, I was leaving the neighborhood when I sent it to you. When I was coming back, the trucks was out there. I was like, oh, turn up. There you go. I was like, what? Since when this stuff happened that fast in the neighborhoods that I live in? I ain't never.
Shout out to a good job, Willie Weaver. We appreciate your responsiveness.
Yes. But then, as I stopped and talked to some of the workers, it's like we have this issue all over the city where the streets are just bad. The pipes are bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Nevertheless, get back on topic with this arts and liberation but nevertheless, the message and the point is, like you said, was for us to treat our leaders with care, and for our leaders to also be more engaged and more open to communal relations. All right. And
yes, that's right.
And at the same time, so when it comes to the art, because you mentioned Nigel Mitchell, and he go by Slim, and I actually met him at the art supply, and it's
love
like
Nigel
these
now.
people
love
are
Nigel.
so
No shade
I love
for sure, don't put me on the docket.
Big character.
Don't put me on no docket. Listen, no, I don't want none of that. No smoke.
But so how we use art for to free ourselves from mental and physical bondage is most definitely becoming more relevant and more prevalent in this day and age, right? Not that it hasn't always been, but somewhere at some point in time there was a decline in its presence, like visibility, I'll say. And so when you talk about art and creation, how do you see us locally being able to use the arts to reclaim our voice, especially when silence and disconnection from the information has been the norm?
I love that question. That's the whole aspect of my creating. Um, how do we use the arts to shift the minds of the people, to get them to move in different ways, get them to action? Um, our
Because it's been
phones,
done.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's been done. And we were just talking about like the 90s. Back in the 90s, we had much more positive rap. We had higher graduation rates, and we had higher SAT scores. We had less incarceration rates. But then, of course, the crime bill came, and then we were celebrating Bill Clinton. But then incarceration rates went up, and but now in hindsight, you know, all of that. But how do we use our art now? The art supply stage is what I'm trying to renew an artistic energy here, and I'm so glad that I feel like there's been a spark. Uh, you know what? No, I'm gonna claim goddamn responsibility because I know what the heck happened, and we just got to be real about it. Art Supply came out. Everybody said, "Oh snap, there's something happening," and then there was an upheaval, and now everybody's out here getting to it, and I love it. I love it. That was the point. So that's the point. We use this now to create platforms, to create positive spaces where our youth, our creators, our community can come celebrate our young people, our young activists and creators and filmmakers, photographers, poets, spoken word artists, musicians of all kinds. Celebrate these young people. Now, when these young people, middle school, high school, are seeing and hearing all of, what's going on, they say, shoot, I want to be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of XYZ. And then we go from that to creating different platforms for our young folks. And shout out to next Thursday on Thanksgiving. Actually, we need a DJ. The DJ we just had freaking pulled out. He didn't pull out. His family called, and he's got to go to somewhere out of town. But we need a DJ Thursday. If y'all any DJ is available, share this. Let me know. Thursday on Thanksgiving for just 3 to 4 hours, noon to 4 on the south side, across from Mount Zion Apartments. We're going to be having a food giveaway, and we're letting the young folks get on the stage out there this time. And so, yeah, young guy Rip Rover, he's got a couple singles out. Is there Roy, Mr. R.S., who does the films. He's got films on Tubi and whatnot. He's been promoting the son and promoting the music, and so he's going to be out there performing. And shoot, I might get on there too. Actually, I'm gonna bring my guitar out, sing a couple medleys. Yeah, and so,
that's word.
So yeah,
and so when it comes to, I guess even that space, right? And because I was a part of Lame Voices, which was like a dope movement at its time. And I feel like we're going through the history of hip hop and music culture in Albany, you know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, there have been spaces. So, and of course you attempted the 229 New Wave.
Yeah.
And so how do you foresee this being, I don't want to say different, but the longevity of it and actually being able to sustain it?
Man,
you know what I'm saying? Because I know how it can be.
Listen. That one of the biggest lessons I learned from 229 New Wave to now is have a team. Have a team. So which is why I reached out to you.
Right.
I reached out to Roy. I reached out to Deanna Freeman. I reached out to a bunch of folks and said, hey, listen, I'm gonna need some help steering this ship.
Right.
And so yeah, shout out to the last couple of shows, man. Y'all have showed up and been wonderful and have helped with a lot of the moving, making sure things are rolling in the show, and I love it. So that is a part of it, making sure that you got reliable people that are equally as invested, equally like share the vision of, hey, we need to make sure that Albany has a stage and a place for artists to go. Cool. We got the same vision and we got the same drive. Let's make it sucker happen.
Right.
And so that's the biggest part of it, how we make sure we keep that going, and then we make sure we facilitate relationships with these young artists that are coming up. Man, I love what's my guy? My boy SN Splat. Man.
Oh my goodness. I had a feeling you were talking about him.
Listen.
Tall guy. I love his energy. I just want to adopt him as like a mentee.
Listen.
And be
that boy good.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
the producer they got dude named Huey.
Yeah.
Only one Huey on Facebook. Man, listen, them young boys ready to
Yeah.
get it. They, boy,
Yeah.
So I love that. And then creating these spaces, like the same thing with 229 New Wave. It was a lot of artists' first time getting a chance to be on a stage.
Right.
And then
Right.
from that experience, they were able to, all right, I got the confidence now. Let me
Yes.
step out and go to Columbus, go to Atlanta, go to whatever. And we're facilitating relationships now with people in Atlanta. Shout out to the homie M5 Astros in the comments, connecting me with a dude named Dario. Shout out to the homie Dario. He graduated. He's from Albany, 2011. What year? What school did he go to? Albany High? Was he Albany High? I think he told me Albany High. I might be mistaken, but I think he told me he was class of 2011 though. But he's from here and he works up in Atlanta, does casting and all kind of fun stuff. And so we're facilitating relationships to where we can usher people from here on up to bigger stages, put them in front of bigger platforms, and make sure they connected. And so that's all a part of it. And then once they get out, y'all keep putting on for the city, making sure we look good, because we got a lot of good representation out there, man. Shout out to Jay Chosen. Shout out to Steve Cantrell.
Yes.
Shout out to the list is long, man. We got a lot of good representation.
And we've always had a lot of good representation that kind of goes a little unnoticed. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the grander scheme of things. But lately I've been seeing like how Albany artists are really flourishing and people everywhere are like,
shout out to that nigga Boom.
Tapping in. Yeah.
Boom. Brazier, shout out to my dog.
And it's
Albany High, NV, let go now. Boom be putting on, man.
And it's wild because and the other thing is too, when they get to a certain level, like you have to continue to represent for your city. Like, of course, the mission and the goal is to be known beyond here. However, you can't forget here. So, like, I don't know, me, I'm just wild because I know when I blow up, because it's coming, like, big, I'm Albany, Georgia. Albany, Georgia, the 229. You feel me? Like, Albany, what side? Albany, like, ain't no side. Albany, straight like that.
Man,
and
see,
you know,
I was just out there in L.A. with the homie Dario. Dario was out there. And we was out at Bossa Nova, good food spot. And somebody asked him where you was from. He's talking about some Atlanta. I looked at him, man. He saw my face. He already knew what time it was. And he went back. No, I'm from Albany. I'm from... Cause we just had a conversation. Like, what you mean, nigga? So I looked at him, man. He said, "Oh no. Look, it's just easier to say Atlanta. Nah, I don't want to hear that. Just go ahead and tell them what it is.
Right?
They can find it. Look.
And then the thing about it too is to make sure you come back. Come back. Exactly. I'm not saying you gotta be here every weekend. You gotta be like always giving something free. You know what I'm saying?
That right there.
Nevertheless, come back and pour back into, you know what I'm saying? Because otherwise we're going to continue to have this negative narrative overhanging our heads, this dark cloud that we can't seem to get over, under, right, you know what I'm saying, around. Exactly. So it's on us as a community, as leaders, because musicians, artists, whether you're graphic, visual, you know what I'm saying, whether you're a seamstress, whatever it is, like you have to continue to come back and pour back into the environment that nurtured you in order to see change. Because if you're continuing to feed into the narrative that everybody else is carrying around, how do you expect there to ever be better?
Exactly. The homie Caleb Shaw just said facts. Oh, it's a minute ago, my bad. But yes, he said fact. I'm pretty sure, yeah. Speaking facts.
Facts. And on that note, because we've said a lot, you know, giving the people a lot to digest and ingest. And so at this point, We're going to go to a quick break. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you for tuning in to Marz Majik. Don't you touch that dial. Don't you go anywhere. You're now tuned in to WUTU 88.3 on your FM dial. Hey, we're live on TikTok and Facebook. Y'all make sure y'all follow us on Facebook, Adam Jeus Inyang, and that's Jeus Jeus. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be so funny. People be like, Jesus? Be like, you don't see another S in the E and the U is like, y'all stop playing.
Man, listen, but I love that when they do that because
yes,
that's a whole nother conversation. People don't know about Jesus.
And I am Nexus Sparks on Facebook. It's the Voices Radio 9 on Instagram. Y'all tap in with us straight like that. This is Renegades of Funk, Rage Against the Machine. Yes, yes, y'all. You are officially tuned in to Marz Majik, brought to you by Voices Radio here on WUCU 88.3 on the FM dial. You are also locked in. Appreciate everybody that's locked in on social media, on the TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere, on the web, because you can most definitely stay locked by visiting us at WUTU883FM.com. This evening, we are joined in the studio by our brother Adam Jeus Inyang, and we are talking art and liberation, using creativity as a tool to mobilize freedom. All right. And so we've talked a lot about community relations, about leadership. We've talked about his work as an artist and creating space for other artists to be able to network and come together and pool certain resources that we have in the community around the arts, and not just musical or verbal, but like he said earlier, spoken word, dance, uh, musical instruments. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Oh, yo, what was that? A saxophone at the
Yeah. Oh
first
boy.
art supply?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah. The
nice.
saxophonist at the joint.
And so it is a open space for artists to be able to network, to collaborate, and also be connected with other sources and resources that they might need to help take their careers to the next level. Because
Exactly.
if we can all come together and work together in unity in the arts community, then I feel like that will most definitely pour back into the community and help to bridge those gaps, because
Exactly.
music moves people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Black in
music
the
moves
building.
people. All right. So, Adam, when we talk about all of these different components to actually bringing about change and making a difference, creating and being a part of the community and politics, and being connected to what's happening around policy and development, it takes stamina.
Well, listen.
And I've seen you, man, like running
Well,
with
listen.
the bag, and like he be like, I ain't trying to be dressed up in no suit and tie. I gotta be on the go. I gotta be on the move. Like, he runs a print shop. He's and no, like, he's for real at these meetings. Like, I've seen him at the meetings.
I'll be out
You
here,
hear
man.
him talking about the meetings, and nobody can just talk about a meeting like that unless you were actually there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we see him
Or I go
out
back and
and
watch the
engaged.
video.
Yes.
Man,
He most definitely is trying to bridge that gap within the artistic community, and so
I do my best
when
now.
you
I
when
do my
you
best.
move in these heavy spaces, right? Because they are not light work,
It sure ain't
because
like
the
work, man.
people are not light work. Like, the personalities, the yeah, everywhere.
Man, listen,
What keeps you passionate when it comes and not feeling drained and overwhelmed when the system or even the people don't always respond the way that you feel like they should, or we're not in the space of growth and progression that you feel like we could be?
that right there,
What keeps you
man.
going?
Listen,
Where does the passion come from?
the whole honest truth with that is you really just gotta love what you do, and boy, I just love I love there's something in advocating, pushing against systems that are unhealthy,
Mm-hmm.
being Christ-like, working because just we said actually earlier, folks don't know why Jesus died. Jesus came to upend systems. He came to fight and work against the systems that were in place that were actually oppressing people, taking advantage of people. And so I think I took that message to heart growing up as a child, to where it's like, all right, this is what Jesus stood for, and in this life, your goal is to be more like Jesus, right? All right. So I took that junk to heart, and so I just really love. I see a problem. I see an issue. All right, we have leaders here that are mismanaging our money. We have 400 million plus millions of dollars
Mm-hmm.
that we could use to fund youth sports, youth activities, lower utilities, any number of things we want. But we see that these people are out here not doing that. They putting it in their own pockets, having these ridiculous, construction projects that are way overbid, overpriced, and that we can't prove the kickbacks. Let me say, so I don't get sued. But we know that there's stiff,
things happening.
So for me that gives me that. Let me get out here and help fight against this foolishness to help represent for my people, to be more Christ-like. And the goal was, after Jesus died, everybody else, hey, all right, let's be more like Jesus. All right, cool. I don't want to die, but I do want to light that spark in somebody else and be like, all right, yeah, let me get out here and say something speak against this wrong as well, because it could be better. Albany got so much potential, but people don't get up and actually take it.
Right.
Like, it's, man, anyway, yeah. What keeps me passionate is just really loving the whole process of advocating and standing in for people, because like you said, it's heavy work, and not everybody gonna sign up for it. I sign up for it. I do. I don't mind being hated, disliked a little bit, because I know who I am, thank God.
Right.
I know who I am. I was raised by some very proud people, and boy, with some tough siblings. That boy, if you ain't had no thick skin, you just wasn't gonna make it. So I know who I
that's
am,
real.
And shout out to that, because there's a lot of people that got a lot of negative stuff to say about me. Oh, Adam did this to this one, and Adam said this. Adam da 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 da. They won't never come say it to my face. And what's more, they can't never stop the good that I still represent. And so a lot of people still see the good that I represent. And fortunately, I'm able to see and cut through the BS, because listen, come talk to me. As soon as you come talk to me, I'm an open book. I'll tell you whatever you want. I've made songs about things that people have had concerns about. If you want to check my page. So I'm very open and transparent about what I do. I've posted links on my page. I won't repeat again, but if you find them, you got them. But so it can't nobody ever hold no junk against me. Right. That's the other thing. If I'm going to run again, shout out to the leaders that we got in place, who have all of them have sat me down and been like, Adam, just chill. It's finna be yours in just a little bit. We got you. Cool. So yeah, man. Hey, we gonna get this changed one way or another.
Because we didn't touch on the point that you actually have run for office.
Yeah.
Twice?
Yeah. No. I was going to run this past time, but I didn't.
Okay, but okay.
Yeah. And so I had a talk with different folks, and I decided, let Weaver get in there. And then again, too, it ain't about me. It's about getting the job done. I know Weaver has a history of representing people and changing systems to better meet the needs of the people and not be as oppressive. Albany Works is the example of that. He pioneered with a newly formed department of the city. I forget the name of that department, but they formed a Albany Works program, to where the folks that come through his court system now, instead of them sending them to jail because they got, multiple unpaid citations and different stuff, now he can connect them with resources to help them get a car seat for their baby, to help them get a license, to help them get whatever the heck they need. And so that program has been around now for some years, and it's been growing and developing, but he was big on that. And so I know he has a history and a heart for, all right, I'm going to do what I can to actually lessen the burden on my people. So cool. He's in there. I got a phone call away. We good. So shout out to the skate park that's going to come back up for a vote again.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah.
Skate park, skate rink, art park. Listen, everything that has been taken, we want it back.
Come on now.
You feel?
And now we have the opportunity.
Plus some, bigger and better. You feel me?
Now is the time. I'm talking about, if you ever had any qualms about something in the city, now's the time to take it to the city.
Yeah.
Because it should be heard with more caring ears.
Yeah.
It should be dealt with more caring hands. But it's up to us to show up and to demand what we want.
Right.
The budget meetings are June.
And then to hold them accountable once we show up. Because I'm putting it out into the universe. I'm sending the frequency out that we are going to start showing up in larger numbers. and that we are going to be vocal in addressing the needs and the desires of the community,
Amen.
and that the change is going to happen, because if it doesn't,
Amen.
we know we can't say it's them. You feel me? So then that means, hey, brothers and sisters,
brothers and sisters,
you about to be held accountable, all right? Because hey, check this though. We gonna tap into our history just a little bit, because here we like to take a time and acknowledge little known facts, little known people in our history. And this round, it's all about the masculine, because we are never creating in a vacuum. We're continuing the story. However, we most definitely want to pay homage to those that have come before us and done what they needed to do in their time. This round, we lift up the legacy of Albany's unsung artists and liberators, men who use their craft to challenge systems and inspire generations.
Amen.
We honor Walter B. Calhoun, the visual artist and educator whose murals turned city walls into lessons of heritage and pride. Reverend H.C. Boyd, a minister and activist who fought for economic empowerment and racial equity in the 50s and 60s. And Chief Calvin McIntosh, early Creek leader who defended his people's sovereignty and preserved cultural identity amid displacement. Their legacies remind us liberation isn't just breaking chains, it's building foundations. Sometimes it's the brushstroke, the verse, or the quiet courage to stand when others stay silent. Who we are. These are some historical figures who've inspired our passion, all right, and our drive. So historically, Adam, when we think about, for you, who are some of these leaders that have inspired you, or brother stories, you know, of resilience that have helped to shape your voice and vision? Because I know you mentioned John Henry Clark earlier.
Oh yeah.
And so any others, or why John Henry Clark so?
Man, listen, there's so many. There's so many beautiful, wonderful leaders that I admire and borrow from. I was just having a conversation with, I think it was my mom, France Fanon. Hey, Adam, I'm gonna talk with you in a second. Oh, that's you in the comment. Hey, Ashley, what's up? France Fanon, he wrote "Wretched of the Earth," and man, it is quite a read, buddy. You better strap on the seatbelt for that one. But the way he eloquently elaborates on the plight and the conditions of the oppressor, of the colonizer and the colonized people, and how that relationship messes with the psyche of the colonized people, and how that feeds into certain behavior patterns that we see here now. And so he was able to describe certain phenomena that allow me to better just, you know, describe to my people what we're dealing with and how we need to move differently. And so shout out to France Fanon. Somebody got my Wretched of the Earth book. I had
That's
like
one of the
copies.
titles that you was missing?
Yeah. Yeah, now. I had like 2-3 copies of Wretched of the Earth, and I can't find that damn one. Somebody got my book. I lent out like a couple copies. If y'all got my book, man, give me one back. Cause anyway. But yes, man, look, shout out to him. Huey Newton, of course. Like I mentioned Huey Newton. I love Dr. Huey P. Newton. I love his theory of intercommunalism before he passed, and I've been working actually to develop my own expounding of his theory of intercommunalism to a tangible, workable format using blockchain technology as a base for developing the society and the community that is run with this intercommunal society governance form. Listen, Dr. Huey P. Newton was way ahead of his time, dog.
Right.
Shout out to the Black Panthers.
Yes, hey, I was just talking about the spirit and the energy of the Black Panthers earlier. Yeah, because we need that. Listen, we have to reconnect with that. And so I appreciate you calling those names. And so when you brought up the intercommunal
Yeah, intercommunalism.
Yes,
Yeah.
that put me back. And I don't know if people heard you back when you came to Lane Voices, because that's been some years
That was
ago.
a while ago.
And you
Shout
were
out to
talking about the land in
Tone Kai.
Africa. Yeah, shout out to Joe Henson Briley,
Yeah.
Chris Jenkins.
Dope artists. Love y'all.
What happened with that? Did that?
Oh no. So yeah, no, we got that land. Yeah, no, my family's got the land over in Nigeria.
Oh, okay, he was
So,
like, nah, we.
man, they done named a street after my daddy over there.
That's what's up.
Like, yeah, nah. So shout
And-
out to Dr. V.O.I.C.E. Inyang Road, Way, Avenue, whatever the heck it is.
Yeah,
But yeah, nah. So that's still over there, man. Nah, shout out to that. It's going good.
That's
I don't know
what's
if you
up.
wanted everybody to know, but it's happening.
it's now.
But you know,
But that's dope, because I just left the Tuskegee University's Professional Agriculture Workers Conference, and one of the things that always stands out for me, like anytime I'm in the agricultural space, is like land ownership and stewardship, and us preserving and conserving like the lands, because we don't get any more.
that's it.
Once we get it, once we have it, it's been passed down to us. However we obtain it, like we need to maintain it. Like, do not get tricked out of the land. Like
Exactly.
we've been, the amount of land that we've owned versus what we currently have possession of is drastically declined. So
I
if
think
you
it's
can, when
40%
you
of what it
can,
was.
get you some land.
That's it for Christmas.
You know,
Make that a Christmas gift this year. Instead of getting somebody a new car or new whatever, get them a plot of land somewhere. my
right?
guy. Like,
Or
everybody's think
present
different.
them with the knowledge and information of what a land trust is, and putting the land into a like, so that it's
Ooh,
guaranteed to
family
be
land
there
trust
for
Christmas.
generations and generations. Like, these are the conversations we should be having around the
There you
food.
There you go. This Thanksgiving, we talking about family land trust, y'all. Ooh, listen.
You feel me?
Listen, you good. You good now. You good.
Collective economics. Like, how else are we gonna sustain ourselves?
Listen, what y'all doing for Thanksgiving? Make sure that we got turkey on the menu. We got macaroni and cheese, collard greens,
Dressing, beans, tomatoes.
all of that. And economic empowerment. Make sure
Yes.
that's on the menu, dog.
Yes.
We got to keep
Yes.
that at the forefront. I'm with it. So,
And if you have a little bit of time before you go and chill and kick it with the family, or if you have a little extra, you know what I'm saying? We will be on ML King from 12 to 4 with the food drive in collaboration with Cloud9. Shout out to the sister Daisha Polite for organizing and putting that together, and Adam for saying like the art supply is gonna show up and give back. You feel me?
oh, and Daisha Brown, Diana Brown's daughter, is also a part as well.
Okay, look at
Diana
the
Brown's
power of networking.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a lot of folks that's collaborating. We got a guy that's bringing out slabs of ribs. And,
Yeah.
So hey, listen, come out if y'all need some family and fellowship on Thanksgiving, and y'all need somewhere to be. We're gonna be 2401 MLK.
Yes.
It's right across the street from Mount Zion, like she said. Man, listen.
And then with that
family.
Wednesday, the 26th, the brother Travis Luke and the squad are gonna be at Driscoll
Antonio
Park.
Spoon, yep.
So y'all make sure like y'all pull up. It's no reason. Let me tell y'all something. So we at time. Y'all tune into my hot seat, because I'm about to talk about the food stamps and the food quote unquote shortage, and how like if we don't do nothing else, we gonna eat. So y'all make sure y'all tune into the hot seat for it.
Come on,
Right now though.
Some of that conversation right now. Because
Yeah.
that's about agricultural arts. Why did that die? You just talking about losing the land because we moved away, moved to the cities, but doggone it, we need to get back to these agricultural arts. If we were growing our own food, we wouldn't be scared of no food stamps.
You
if we
feel-
leave.
Ooh.
We wouldn't have no food stamp problem if we had our own food systems in place. But doggone it, Adam was crazy in 2018, 19 saying this stuff, 2020 saying this stuff,
Right.
2025 still saying this stuff. We better have
Right.
this doggone
And
stuff.
I'm gonna keep saying it. I've been saying it too, like 10 years strong. Like, and I'm
That's
gonna keep saying it
That right there.
until it clicks for somebody, and it's been clicking because we have community gardens.
There you
But guess what? We need for community gardens to sustain themselves. Community. Like,
Yeah. Ain't that funny? Man, listen, but no, shout out to Diana Brown, who was fighting for, advocating for getting some more money to that Henderson Gym project.
Yes,
That was to include
yes.
a community garden. but that didn't pass. They
It's
they
crazy.
they upped it and got the covering for the basketball court, but not enough to also get the community garden. But it's okay. We gonna get it now.
Because we can
it can
still
come
get a
back up.
community garden though.
Exactly. And
Again, it's the community, and we have things like the Southwest Georgia Project for Community Education.
there it is.
You feel me?
South-
Like,
Southwest Georgia
and
Project.
that's what we do. So like we have to plug in to our resources and utilize what we have to build our community, because we have everything we need literally right here. There is no like we have what we need for real, for real.
Exactly.
Speaking of having what we need, let's jump into the herbal corner and get our dose of herbal magic when it comes to being able to heal the spirit and body in a whole different way. So every episode we pause and we honor our herbal allies, because we don't just feed the mind, we nurture the body and the spirit too. Liberation most definitely starts within. And so it's in how we breathe, how we rest, how we restore ourselves. All right. And so tonight we are guided by blue lotus and rosemary, herbs of insight, inspiration, and illumination. Blue lotus is the flower of awakening, gentle, euphoric, heart opening. She connects us to the dream space where intuition and creativity flow free. Rosemary, the herb of remembrance. She clears stagnation, strengthens memory, and grounds us with purpose. A faithful ally when birthing new visions. All right. Each of these herbs teaches us that through liberation and awareness, we're able to free the mind so the soul can create without fear.
There it is.
So, Adam, when it comes to you and your own practices, whether spiritual or physical, what are some of those things that you use to help keep you centered and grounded?
Oh man. So yeah, I meditate as often as I can, pretty much daily. In the morning, I get up about 6 a.m., 7 a.m. at the latest. I'm out to bed, and I do my daily stretches. I do a whole little mini workout, and then I got breathing exercises that I do. I got my mudras and different things like that. 'Cause I do some good real meditating, and um, I have an affirmation album that I'm recording. Actually, too, to put that out there, I started with, it was actually a gift. I recorded some affirmations, and then I realized, oh snap, this is really good. And so I listened to the affirmations in the morning. I'm listening to myself tell myself, I am healthy, wealthy, wise, and happy, and different other stuff like that. And then I start my day, and it's a big difference in my day when I skip my routine and when I don't. But it's just foolish for me not to. And like at this point, like, why would you skip it? Like, and I'd be at the end of the day when I don't do it, it'd be hard. But I'm like, my nigga, you already know. But